and welcome. Today we're talking something a little bit less technical and more mental. I want to talk about when to call cut. At what point in the constant retaking of your song or scene or dance routine do you have to say, okay, this is good enough, let's submit this? Now, before we get started, I just want to put out a little disclaimer. Everything I say is my personal opinion. This is not going to work with every single person. It might not even work with the majority of everyone. But I would like to share what is my method of approaching this issue, and maybe somebody out there can relate to it, or if not, please let me know what is your trick to calling cut. The great thing about self-taping is not having to rely on your first and only time, like when you're going to an actual audition room. You can try to take several takes and pick the best one out of all of it, so it can actually represent you at your best. Being able to record over and over again, having endless takes, is at the same time the downfall of self-taping, because we, especially as artists, we are very judgmental of ourselves, and we know when we screw up and we know when we can do better. And because of that, you take one take and you can always find something that you want to improve on, and that ends up being 50, 60 takes, and at some point you're like, why am I even doing this anymore? And with the building frustration, your takes might get worse and worse because you start being so judgmental, you start detaching yourself from the character, and your head is just all over the place, and next thing you know, you feel like you're just never gonna get a good take. But then you think, well, I already put my makeup on, I already have my costume on. Maybe you ask a family member to hold the camera for you and this is already their 30th take and they're like, I'm never doing this for you again. You start to hate the art that you're making, you start to hate singing, hate acting, and we never want to go there. So what are you gonna do? The thing I like to remind myself is to never get myself in a hole where I start resenting my work. The little system I had figured out along the way during my past semester while I had to do acting school online: take 3 takes that you deem good enough, and then pick the best one out of those 3. I just gotta tell myself, I can't get a perfect shot. Why when I go on stage and I do like a mediocre job, or when I always know that I could do something better, I don't beat myself as much as I do when I film? It's because I believe that when I film, I can do it over and over again and that I can get better. But some things just get better with time and with practice, and you can't force it all to happen within one day, within one taping session. So I take each take, and if I think, if I did this on stage, I would be fine with it, then that is a good enough take in my eyes. And then I go and sit down, maybe in an editing software, or I review my clips on my phone, and I think, alright, yeah, this one compared to that one is a little bit better. And I just roll with that one. Unless it's really bad, then yes, maybe take another one. I feel like if you get the lyrics wrong, or the melody wrong if you're doing a song, or the choreography completely wrong if you're doing a dance, then yes, you probably should take another take and don't submit something that is clearly wrong. Now, a tiny little pro tip, which is sort of unethical, but if you have this perfect take and there's this tiny little thing that you messed up, maybe on the audio side or whatever, just tweak it a little bit. If you feel like, hey, on this part you went a little bit off pitch, you can go into GarageBand and like, maybe fix something. But I'm just putting it out there. Okay, I promise, I never did that for school, but I have done that for things that I put out as like performance videos. Bye-bye!